All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Boss Talk Podcast. I got my girl Steph here today. Excited for this.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Go ahead and let us know.
I am Stefani Lindenberg. I am a fashion stylist, and you can find my at Stefani Lindenberg.
That's right. And if you don't know how to spell out there in America, don't worry. We will tag her for you.
Yep.
So thank you for coming on. We thank everybody who sees what we're doing and wants to be a part of it. Or if we begged you and you said, fine, all right, I'll show up. And now you're here. So thank you for that too.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did not beg anybody.
Max begged
He's being
some people.
respectful.
Nah. So
Max will do the opposite.
anyways, basically we start every episode, as y'all know, with a boss talk to help out all our fellow bosses out there to get it into the world, get to the bag and all of that. So my boss talk for today is having vision. And I'm not talking about being Cyclops. I'm not talking about glasses. I'm talking about being futuristic, knowing where you want to go with the goal and envisioning it and like knowing what it's going to look like when you succeed.
Right.
If you don't know what it's going to look like when you succeed, then you probably will not succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I've done in my life, I could picture myself at the finish line. And then every day that I would wake up trying to get to that goal, I'm getting closer to what I saw, getting closer and closer until I can get there. It's a good guidance for you to get there because sometimes we need guidance and like you can get lost in the smog of everything.
Right.
So you got to have vision if you want to be a boss.
Yeah, I feel like there's been plenty of opportunities that I have that I saw the vision of who I'm networking with, but I'm not getting paid what I feel like I should be getting paid, or I'm not getting paid at all. But the network is there, the vision is there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this because it's going to land up paying off for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of times today, people just don't look at the bigger picture. Whereas like you're just so focused in the moment, focused on trying to make this money for the now. But bro, if you focus on the ending of it all, like you're going to make this connection, right? You do that gig, whatever it is, and then it's going to work out. Guess what? Now you get hired for another gig. Now you actually have a budget. And the next one after that, now you have a bigger budget. And that's the way life goes. But you just got to be able to be focused on that vision and see the bigger picture. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't.
I got to reposition myself for this boss talk. So,
There we
vision,
go.
bro.
It's serious now.
If you do not have vision, then what do you have? Ladies and gentlemen, you have nothing. The point in life is to have your short-term goals and to have your long-term goals. Let's fix this microphone real quick. And if you don't have those, then you're just going to be stable your whole life. Where are you going to go? What are you going to get? And again, happiness is what you make of it and is what your definition of happy is. We have a definition, obviously, on Webster's of what happy is, but for happy for some person is working a 9 to 5, seeing his family, right? And just having a couple beers and sleeping or whatever, bro. Happy for someone is conquering the world, taking over. I'm not talking about like on some king or queen shit. I'm talking
sounds
about.
like you're talking about Hitler or something.
No. We'll get to Kanye in a bit, or as we should call him, Ye, because he changed his name. And we got to keep it respectful on Boss Talk. But it's important to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, like I said, you have nothing. You want to keep moving forward. You want to make it somewhere in life. And if you consider yourself a boss, then you can't box yourself in small achievements. You want to make that biggest achievement and you want to break through that box in every single way possible, which each and every one of us here are doing.
Right.
And that's why we're here today on another episode of Boss Talk. So
What do you think, Steph?
Absolutely. No, I think vision definitely comes for people a little bit easier than others. You're either kind of born with it or you develop it over time. And I think vision is just like something that everybody should have for themselves. Like whether it be, like you said, a 9 to 5 and you're seeing your family, or like you want to, change the fucking world or something. I think.
exactly.
Sorry, am I allowed to cuss?
No, there's no
was like,
cussing
okay.
here.
Everything goes.
This is a toddler-friendly show. You can't cuss
I
here.
was like, ooh. But no, I definitely think vision is so important, especially if you're a creative person. Like you should have a vision for yourself.
Well, let me ask you this. You do fashion. Are you a stylist?
Yes.
Can you get more deep on exactly what you do, like how you do it, so that everybody knows?
And where do you want to be?
Wait,
Like-
hold on.
No, she's starting it, but she has to end it off on where she wants to
get
be.
there.
Maybe she wants to be Louis Vuitton.
Okay. Yeah,
Or
okay.
better.
There you go. So what do you do exactly? And yeah, like you said, where do you want to be?
Well, my type of styling is definitely different than what everybody's used to. Everybody's used to just seeing designer and just like packing that on to celebrities and stuff. And that's what everybody thinks, oh, that's fashion, that's style. Just putting designers together. It doesn't matter what it looks like. But it's like, no, I'm trying to change it a little bit by being a sustainable stylist. I handpick and curate my own clothing from thrift stores, and I just make that into art. I think that's like super important to me right now, especially as an environmentalist activist. I feel like you need to be sustainable right now. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like you should have like the world on your mind, you know, not even politically speaking, but just climate change and everything. Like landfills are so vital to like that, you know, bringing of, you know, damn.
A better planet.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand. Hey, we all been drinking. It's
yeah,
okay.
I know. I was like, oh shit.
And you know what? I feel like what you're doing is a lot more difficult to do than rather the whole like Louis Vuitton route or, you know, Yves Saint Laurent or all of that, because they're doing the highest quality stuff. You're going to thrift stores and styling people. You're gathering what you have.
And
know?
utilizing what I got.
Exactly.
But this is your advantage though, because it's creative. It's different. I've never heard of a sustainable, eco-friendly stylist.
Isn't that so dope? Like
it's
for all
very
our, for
dope.
all our like people watching out there, please contact her. Like she's gonna hook you up. She'll style you out. She'll make you look great. If you're going to the Met Gala, hook her up.
I have questions. I have more questions.
Go for it. No.
You know,
for sure.
it's just because I'm very curious about this. So typically, like, who do you style in general? Like, just anybody? Is it models? Is it people for music videos? Like,
Oh,
where's your
yeah.
focus, like, land?
Oh, my focus is everybody. I
Okay.
want to work with anybody who's anybody, like who wants to work with me, you know,
Right.
that sees, you know, what I do and they appreciate what I do. I always also encourage a lot of my clients to just go out and find what works for you, because a lot of people, that's the problem. They don't know what fits them.
Right.
They don't know what their vibe is. And it's like, I just always say experiment, go explore. And like the best way to explore is thrifting. They have so many different varieties of clothes and stuff that it's like, you could be whatever you want to be.
Your boy is a Ross thrifter.
That
That's
is
me.
thrifting.
Do you have experience in, or have you run into any like fashion schools or taken any courses, or is it just something that's been a passion and you've been so good at it, born with it? You feel me?
Yeah.
Because there's people who go to LA, what is it called?
Fit 'em.
And they
Yeah.
suck at film. But then there's people who are just
Right.
born with the passion to film and they out
Right.
school and out game everybody at it. No offense to my LA film school
no,
guys.
no.
Because these guys are good. Frontline films.
But here's the thing. Like me and Javon, we both went to LA Film, right, at different times. But we both dropped out. Like I didn't finish it. You didn't finish
I didn't finish it.
And the thing is, like my graduating class at LA Film, it was like 150 people. Do you know how many people are still doing film today? The people that were in that class.
Let me guess. 8.
It's about like 8 to like 12 people.
Damn.
It's about 8 to 12 people. And most of those people, it was just a bunch of rich kids that were using their parents' money because they were like, oh, like, I think I'm going to try this out. Now, your parents are paying for everything, but it's going to waste.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not even your passion, but like,
Yeah.
you're here for what? You're not even doing it. And now it's like, it puts people like me and Javon aside where like, we're actually doing this. Like, we're doing the grunt work. We're doing work for free. Where we're at right now in our lives for this production company has grown so far from where we started a year ago because we had that vision, and that goes back to the boss talk.
And that's what I'm trying to lead to with this, with the questions that I have also is like, when would you say that you like started? Like,
Oh, yeah.
when would you say you started doing like this styling? Do you
2
recall?
years old.
2 years? Okay.
2 years old.
Then, and when you were
Yeah.
So
two,
you were born with it.
wait,
Yeah.
but when you were 2, did you like see yourself styling like celebrities or people like that? Like,
No, actually, I know I was 2 years old because my dad loves telling the story about the day I decided to finally dress myself because he had brought me an outfit and he was like, you said no. You went to the drawers and started picking stuff out yourself. And I was like, okay. But I definitely didn't imagine myself dressing people. If I'm being very honest, I always imagined myself being the person dressing myself.
yeah.
You wanted to walk the
Yeah, exactly. Like I grew up taking acting, modeling, and singing classes. Like I was totally training to be a triple threat out here.
You
But
can still do it.
Thank you.
Well,
young.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is because I know somewhere in this story there was an envisioning of something, and it may not be there, but I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like I don't see anybody having success without seeing it first, some type of way.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so whether it would be you're going to the acting class and you're envisioning yourself performing well, or whether it be like you're going to show up to a photo shoot or whatever, you're going to style it and you don't know exactly what, but in your head, you're like, I do know what I'm going to style, like this, and this. You already have an idea. I feel like a lot of people think that these things just like fall upon people. Thoughts are not random.
No.
It's where you are. That's the reason why in the world they try and distract a lot of us. Because if you're distracted, then you cannot see your vision.
Exactly.
A lot of us are actually creative. A lot of us actually have the skills that we need to be successful, but they don't really want you to be successful. They want you to be a consumer, and that's it. Consume my television show. Consume
fluoride in this toothpaste.
Consume it on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this whole generation. All they're doing. But I've seen this happen so many times where they're watching a movie and they're not paying attention to it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, I don't even blame cats because, bro, a lot of stuff is unoriginal.
That's another thing that we were talking about yesterday when we had the meeting and everything.
But you know what is not unoriginal? Sinners.
Sinners is amazing. We're gonna get into that.
Because that's gonna be a whole long.
That's a combo right there, bro.
I got some things to say about that.
Amazing, Steph. You got to go watch that movie.
I know.
Anyway,
we're about to spoil the whole movie.
It's fine. It's fine. Twitter already, X already did it.
Yeah,
Everybody already
sure.
did it.
I'm sure, and that's why a lot of people probably don't even go watch it.
No,
because it's already spoiled for them.
Yeah.
I watched it twice. I saw it and still went back to watch it again.
I'm gonna go watch it again.
I've actually seen people like I don't know if I'm gonna go back to the theaters and watch it again, but I'll probably watch it. Like one movie that I have watched like numerous times and it never gets old for me was two movies. It's Friday and Django. Those are two movies that I
Why
can watch.
the fuck did I know you were gonna say Django?
Because there's a movie you can watch over and over again, bro.
I'm about to do a backflip right now. I've been just
all right.
It's funny every time. Every time it's funny. It's never not funny. I don't care. I know what joke is coming, and it's still funny when it comes.
That's hilarious. Since we're on the movie talk, might as well just get into it.
Okay.
So Sinners,
yes,
amazing movie. It got
excellent
100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I do not understand how people can talk shit about it.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. 10 out of 10.
Bro, like as
From
an
humanity.
individual, you know, like you have people literally going to the movie theaters to go watch this movie, and I forgot what the guy's name was, but
Ryan Coogler?
No, Ryan Coogler is the
Michael
director,
B. Jordan.
No.
She's like, I'm gonna get ahead of you.
So you did watch it. No, so there's this other person, I forgot what his name was, but he kept trying to say like movie theaters are dead, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like movie theaters are only dead because exactly what you said, nobody makes anything original. Now,
you have Sinners.
Big box office, everything that people are literally calling off of work to go watch this movie.
I'm amazed, man.
Insane.
Bro.
It is great. The scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh my! If you guys don't like, I feel like that's all you got to say is that scene.
Yeah,
and
that
people
scene
are
alone.
gonna know what the scene is.
That scene alone.
You know what the scene is?
I was about to get up and start fucking dancing. When that shit cracked, bro, I was gonna do somersaults. I was like, this is so creative.
I can't even explain
it's
how I
so
felt. Yeah.
deep, and like I'm like, because you know I have that 1% of African American
Yes,
in me,
of
and
course.
I was like, wow,
He
I
said, "My
feel this
people."
right now. I'm like, my people, they call from the heart of Africa, and I was like, this is crazy. Nigeria, Ghana. I was looking for the closest black person next to me to hug. It was crazy, bro.
They had the Asians over there. They had
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they did.
everything. It was amazing.
I just want.
the choreography, the cinematography.
Oh yeah.
The concept, the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think for me, I was telling, I think I was talking to my aunt, but to me, so I have a different, unique story about this film. So if anybody hasn't seen it yet, or for the people that did watch it, you know it's set in Mississippi, and my family is from Mississippi, and then it features Choctaw Native Americans, and my family are Choctaw Native Americans, and so for me, you know, I watched it by myself the first time, and I thought like, oh, this is like really dope. So not only am I black, and I get to, you know, it's like if you watch a movie and it's like a Mexican movie and you get to be like,
no, I'm just kidding.
whatever.
Blood and blood out.
Whatever it is.
That's not the right one.
Right, Coco. No, whatever. Yeah.
Coco, there you go.
Yeah.
The only Coco I know is Cesar Chavez.
But all I'm saying is like, imagine you watch something as whatever background you are, and you get to be like, man, this is dope. This is my people make this, right? So I was already feeling that way, and then it gets even deeper for me because every black person is not from Mississippi, and every black person doesn't have like Choctaw in their family. So for me, I was like really feeling special, right? So I watched it the first time, and then afterwards, I get a phone call from my grandmother. For those of you that don't know, my grandfather passed away like some months ago now. And yes, R.I.P. to the king. And my grandmother has been out here in California for about a month or so now. And because of the distance still between, you know, where she's staying at and work schedules, it's kind of hard to get together with her. So, you know, we got on the phone and I said, you know what, I'm gonna come pick you up today. I'm going to take you to watch this movie.
Oh,
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I love that you did that.
Yes. You know, I'm glad that I was able to do it and experience that, you know. So I took her to watch it, and just right when the movie started, every time she would make like a comment, it meant so much to me, you know, just because she's a widowed woman and I want to see her happy. And she was feeling like she grew up close to those times too.
Right. And that's what I want to add, because you mentioned it to me. You're like, I'm taking my grandma to go watch this movie.
Yeah.
And I know that she, you know,
she grew up with the cotton fields
and everything like
with
that.
the cotton fields,
So
with the sleeping on the floor,
like,
all of that.
But that's crazy for you guys, bro. Choctaw and African American, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I can just imagine how look, my 1% isn't as strong as your 99.9%. But it's like, I get what you were probably feeling in that theater, seeing that shit, bro, with the creativeness and like I've said this before. I want to go join the Black Panthers, bro, right now, honestly, bro, because the way they portrayed white people in that shit was crazy, dog. Like, that's crazy. Well, and then again, as we know, I am not a white person. I am Armenian, indigenous to my own land. I was about to salute. I shouldn't have done that.
Don't do that.
I was about to do a wrong salute. I was about to do a wrong salute. You saw where my arm was about to go. But listen, no.
He drives a Tesla, people. So
hey, hold on real quick. I have to make this thing. People who drive, rant of the day. Sorry. Stephanie, we have this thing on the show. We call it rant of the day. Keeps the doctor away. It's like shooting a Glock. It's like hitting a punching bag. You're letting it go of your tensions, the things that piss you off. Now, he just brought this up. I didn't even have a rant of the day today.
Oh.
People who drive Teslas and they put a fuck Elon sticker on their car. Listen, can I say something to you guys? Maybe fuck you. Because here's the thing. But you're paying this guy out and you have a fuck Elon sticker on your car. Just go give the car back. If you're that much of a Democrat and I support freaking the weirdest shit in the world or whatever it may be, bro, then just give the car back. Why are you keeping the car and why are you slapping a fuck Elon?
That restaurant was called Pink Taco. That's wild. I'm sorry.
That's another cool.
I'm sorry, bro. I just like looked up. I'm like, they got a restaurant called Pink Taco.
We're a little everywhere right now.
I know. Hold on. Let me finish my story. I
did want to ask you about. Sorry, Max. We're gonna get back to this.
I just want to finish talking about.
We're gonna finish this movie talk.
I'm going home, dog.
I'm not talking about my grandmother. He started talking about Musk.
Hold on. Hey, I'm sorry, bro, because you brought it up. Do you guys feel what I'm saying? You guys, what I'm saying? Not even fuck you guys. I retract my fuck you because.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
You feel me? Like, what's the point of your fuck you Elon on the car?
I get it.
You're literally representing.
Well,
Elon.
I sort of get it. I will touch upon it after I finish my moment,
because I wanted to talk to you more about the movie, but more about like how did your grandma feel during the movie? Like, what did you talk to her about? Like,
well, you. I mean, I sort of did, right? We didn't get too deep into it. Okay. We will get more deep into it, but I feel like as a creative person in business or whatever it is, you know, imagine if you could make something that somebody could approach you later on and be like, yo, this was like a key moment in my life when you made this. Whether you are a musician and you made a particular song and you're like, hey, I met my wife and we to this song, or like this changed my life in that way. I'm telling you that for me personally, right, this was a key moment for me to share with my grandmother that was crazy. Because again, she grew up around cotton fields and all of that. You see what my profile picture is on Facebook. You know what it looks. Bro, don't they look just like Smoke and Stack pretty much out there?
Legit.
That's my grandfather.
You are the present day Black Panther, my friend.
So like, thank you, sir. So what I'm saying is that.
Hey, and I'm there with you. I told you I'm joining.
I
bro.
believe.
Bring me my application.
We're bringing you on board, dog. We bring you on board. I'm gonna be like, he has 1%.
It's 1%. Even if I didn't have that shit, dog.
He's kind of like Haley Steinfeld then.
Who?
Haley Stein. Oh, yeah.
The white woman in the movie.
Yeah. She watched it. She's like, she didn't watch it. She know everything about everybody.
I told you, everyone's spoiling it.
One more thing.
true.
Haley Steinfeld.
She's a beautiful woman.
Beautiful.
All right. You know who's beautiful?
Haley Steinfeld
My grandmother.
fire.
Back to my story.
Back to your grandma, bro.
Back to my story. Because I'm
Haley
trying to.
Steinfeld, one day.
I'm really trying to make this and get this on film for Ryan Coogler. Like, bro, thank you. Thank you for creating that type of art. You know, I sat in that theater. My grandmother, without her saying too much sometimes, I could tell it was like taking her back in time. I felt like she felt young in there watching it because everybody was young in a time where she was young. And it was highlighting that, you know? So for me, it was just, now to talk about that specific scene, for me the day before I took my grandmother, oh my God. Sometimes I look at people like, how is your brain even functioning? Like, where did you come up with this? Like, and in every field, whether it's music, sports, whatever, like, how did you come up with this concept?
It's the artisticness.
And it takes you to another place. And when I saw that particular scene, for people who've seen it, basically what happens is the whole film is set in like, what, the 30s?
It's like it was the early 30s, so Prohibition had like just stopped.
Yeah.
Remember the brothers? They came from Chicago.
Spoiler
They lived in
alert.
Mississippi.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Whatever.
Spoil. Go watch it still.
It's already been like 3 weeks.
Dog,
You better
we
go
don't
watch it.
care, bro. Take the stickers off your fucking Tesla, bro.
So anyway, so the brothers, they're twins. They grew up in Mississippi. They went to Chicago there, and they mentioned in the movie they're part of Al Capone's crew.
Right.
And then they come back to Mississippi. They
Gangsta.
come back to Mississippi with a bunch of alcohol and stuff like that because Prohibition's over. Hooray. Boom, boom, boom. So you think it's going to be more of like a gangster type of thing where these brothers are coming up, making it known like, hey, we're just going to make some money. We're going to do this thing. But there's a couple twists. But in the beginning of the movie, they mentioned the twist. It's very obvious what the movie's going to be about. If you know, like, your history, you know, this and that, you know, it's very obvious. So I don't understand how people are saying, like, where did that come from? Where did this, you know, like...
My thing is, don't you want to be on a roller coaster?
Bro,
I hate sitting through something and it's just like...
I was on
Yeah.
a roller
For
coaster.
this movie, it's like there's never a point where you get bored. You know, there's movies where they start great and then all of a sudden it's like, man, this...
The
Did that 4
decline
minutes
is
pass?
too quick.
I'm sorry?
That timer?
No, we're good.
Oh, okay.
Well, we got 2 minutes.
Okay.
So real
My
quick.
bad.
So yeah, this whole movie, it's amazing. It's like it has love, it has affection, it has the dramaticness, there's even comedy. Like there's points where it's funny.
You cannot have. Here's the one thing about it, and here's the one thing about my culture. You cannot have anything black without there being comedy.
And same thing for
And you know, and you know why? Yeah, and you know why? Because of the one scene when he was driving and they're in the car and he stood up to the prisoners
You're right.
and he's like, "You knew one of them?" He's like, "I knew all of them."
all of them.
And then he explained that terrible story of what happened to the guy, and then they just break out into
They
song.
start singing.
Yeah.
Because that's our culture, is like, you know, we can't dwell.
Yeah.
Because for us, we like, this is every day. Like, so if I'm gonna sit here and dwell on the oppression or like the pain and all of that, then I'm gonna just die of sadness, and I can't do it. So
Start, bro. Let them see the bottle, bro.
Yeah. Stephanie,
So
may I replenish you?
where did I leave off at? I was leaving off at
Oh, there's just like so much to dissect in this. So there's just so much to dissect in this for movie, pretty much, right? It's a lot, but I love how he included like a lot of cultures in it. Like if you notice, I don't know if you guys caught this, because I told you about it yesterday after I watched it. You didn't catch it after the 2 times that you saw it, right? Where they pull up into town, and then Stacky lands up shooting both those dudes.
And then
But so right when they pull up, and the storefront is called King Tamales.
yeah, I saw that. And I was tripping out. I'm
Isn't
like,
that so dope?
I mean,
though?
like King Tamales in Glendale, dog. I'm like, that shit's been around for a minute. Huh?
Maybe I don't
you
know, but I feel like the point is that he's including cultures that have been, you know, like
underrepresented.
thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
And even okay, so what I liked about it was it's not just like a black film when it's like just all about blackness and everybody else is trash. So the stars of the film are black, but every other culture that was brought in was highlighted in their own way. So here's one way here's something I'm gonna bring up that I don't know if anybody else caught on to this.
Right.
To me, Asian people are warriors.
Oh, they're with it.
They're like the most fearless people. Okay, so they will die behind whatever they're about. They're gonna die about that. They're not about to be scared or anything like that. The one Asian woman in there,
The wife.
who some people are looking at and they're mad at her for calling the vampires in or whatever.
She did the right thing.
She was like, I don't even care. We're not even about to sit here and wait. Like, come on in, like, cause we're about to fight. And she stood on business. Like, they came in and she got to killing. Like,
I have this conversation with a couple people so far. A couple people are mad about that, but I had explained to them.
They don't know Asians.
Yeah, they don't know Asians, but also like in theory, think about it. He literally the main dude, I forgot the main vampire dude, whatever. He told her like, whatever your husband knows, I know. And then he starts speaking. What is it?
He says something sexual to her.
He says, I know the way you like to be licked and this and that. I know, yeah. And then he goes, I know where your daughter's at. So,
Whoa.
another spoiler. Sorry, you guys haven't seen it. Go watch it.
Too bad.
The husband is a vampire now. So what the first thing that she does, as soon as the vampires open that door and they're welcomed in for them to go at it, she goes after the husband to kill him because she's trying to save her daughter and her family.
And they burn it.
And she burns to death.
And
he was so determined to kill him that he was on fire because somebody who threw the Molotov.
She did.
She threw the Molotov. And her husband caught on fire. She ran over and staked him and like stayed with him.
Yeah.
To burn it down.
Yeah. Because what it is they're trying to free their soul. So at the end of the day, it's kind of a beautiful thing. Like she's killing them and they're both, hopefully heaven.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And I also want to say that it was just they touched on so many different things. Like for example, Mary, who comes off as like pure white,
right?
But she's not. And there was a lot of that during those times where you have somebody who's black, they're mixed, and they can pass. Like right now, one of my daughters, she has like a complete straight hair. And so I'm curious to see like what she looks like when she gets older. She could pass for something else if she wanted to hide it. Right. A lot of that went on. But the thing that I liked about that character is she wasn't trying to pass.
No, she wasn't.
She wanted to integrate with African American culture.
Well, she was. She's done shit.
Yeah, because her dad was. Her dad was half black, or her mom was half black.
I think she said her grandmother, and I think that's what it is for her in real life too.
Yeah.
And Stag, that was a G.
Bro, both of them were honest.
But like Michael B. Shout out Michael B. Jordan, bro. So I saw this other thing too. Like they were saying, like, oh, while Chadwick Boseman was still alive, he would have been like all over that movie. Or who was the other one? They said another black person that was still like. You got to give Michael B. Jordan his credit. He is such a great actor. Like that scene between them when he's right there and he makes her shed a tear, that love that you feel, but he's just trying to do it to save her. Because if he had
to do it twice though.
Yeah,
because he's in love with two. As an actor, he had to portray two different people, and he has two love things, stories going on.
Yeah, including actually it's kind of three because it's the two women plus the love for your brother.
Right, that's true. That's true.
He is such a great actor. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Michael B. Jordan, you stood on business. Keep doing your thing, bro. Like, ever since I saw you, the first movie I saw you in was Hardball. Have you guys ever seen that one? Keanu Reeves?
Of course. I'm black. I've seen Hardball.
Have you ever seen Hardball?
Hartville?
The Hardball.
Hardball. Yeah. Oh, bro, watch it.
Of course I've seen it.
He's black.
So watch that movie, bro. That's the first one that he was in. I believe Michael B. Jordan's like debut movie was Fruitvale Station.
Fruitvale. That's the one I was.
Which was also great. But this is gonna bring me along to Steph. Do you have a favorite movie?
Oh shit! Put me on the spot like
He's
that.
in here just like amazed with like all.
I know.
Oh, me?
I'm like,
I didn't think you were gonna
keep going, keep going.
Wait, look, what help you before you say your exact favorite movie? Do you have a favorite genre of film?
Oh, favorite genre. I feel like over the years I've kind of fluctuated between genres. Like there was a time in my life where I was super into horror films, and I was super into like the paranormal and spiritual, like this world and stuff, and like that was like my shit. Like that was my bread and butter. Like I literally studied every single historical like paranormal activity that's ever happened in this country. Like I loved it. But then Because I am so spiritual, I did feel like something attached to me. So I don't actually watch any horror movies anymore.
I was just about to say, I was literally about to ask about that, because when you do watch these horror flicks, there is something that you feel like your auras, or it just kind of, there's some darkness that you feel in you, especially if you're a spiritual person like I am, like Javon, Moses. For speaking for myself, because I can't speak for the two. Every time I watch it, and I love horror movies too. That's the messed up part about it. I feel that darkness overtaking you. It's like it may be just on a square screen, but that square screen is coming out towards you for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard, but like, I believe it was American Horror Story. There was a season where they were actually chanting actual like witchcraft, and people that were watching at home, they had no fucking idea. But the producers knew, and because things were affecting the actors and the producers, everybody that was on the production team. So it's like, if you don't think that shit's real, that's
you can even take that back to the original Exorcist.
Yeah.
When that happened, there were people in the room that actually died
Yeah.
because of it. Like people in theaters.
Theaters are passing out.
No, people in movie theaters were literally like the ambulance had to come and get people from the movie theaters. This is what in the 70s, I believe it was the original Exorcist. So if you don't believe in demonic stuff or anything like that, like it's real.
Oh yeah.
God is I actually, you know, I went through a phase where I completely stopped watching these things. So me being Christian, and the thing that's funny about it, that people don't realize, is that there are demons who are specifically named in the Bible. You know, and these same demons actually come out in films all the time. Right. I used to think when I was younger that I was watching certain movies and that they just like created something like, oh, this guy's creative. He created this mythological thing out of thin air. But they usually don't. They're doing research and then they use a actual demon and they put that in the film. When they put symbolism around, sometimes you think it's random. No, that's actual real symbolism.
And I believe that shit. There's something.
Yeah, and I believe that's exactly why that type of stuff happens. Where you have either something happen to the actors or the production crew. You know, like that happens all the time.
I believe, for anybody listening though, I believe the power of God is stronger than all of that. Oh, for sure. But I believe if you are not in tune, if you are not, you know,
very vulnerable,
you're vulnerable. Because I will tell you like this, a demonic force is stronger than a human force.
Absolutely.
So if you ain't out here teamed up with God, you will be taken advantage of, you know.
And the only tip I can give is invoking the name of Jesus Christ. So if you ever find yourself, for some apparent reason, in a situation where you feel like you're getting attacked spiritually, all you need to say is Jesus Christ.
Wait, what was the name of that movie?
Which one?
There was a movie that came out on Netflix about like a year ago. It was like a mother, she's struggling. I don't know if she was an ex-alcoholic, and she has her kids, and the whole town looks at her like she's just a screw up or whatever. She's like violent and everything like that. And there's so much trauma in the family. And I didn't know that this was this type of movie, but essentially what ends up happening in the end, and this moved me a lot because I didn't expect this to happen. In the end, it turned up that there was an actual demon that was influencing the trauma in her. And in the end, she ended up invoking the name of Jesus, and like the whole, like a hole opened up and like sent that demon down. But you don't see that that's what's gonna happen the whole movie. Right. And I was thinking like, dang, like I have never seen nobody like invoke that in a film like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder what movie that is.
It was on Netflix. I will find out what it is.
That's a powerful movie. That's the thing with horror movies. Nowadays, I still kind of try to watch horror movies, but I always want to find out, does the good win in the end? I hate watching a horror movie where it ends with like a cliffhanger with like the demon is like, they turn around and it's like some creepy shit. I always want to watch Conjuring. At least.
That's why I like
I love Conjuring.
The good always winning in Insidious.
In Insidious, yes.
Insidious is great.
Yeah, but they still had a part 2, of course.
Insidious had like
you defeated evil, but like it still comes back.
Right, but
there's like 3 of them.
But it's still like a good. And I think I like Insidious. Insidious is the one that I really. Okay, so what's your favorite film?
Oh, of all time?
Of all time.
Oh my gosh! Somebody just asked me this, and I had to take a few minutes because I was like,
comedy.
So then, in this case, you won't need a few minutes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, because what did you tell them then?
Well, they asked for my top 4.
Ooh, okay. I guess top 4.
Yeah.
My top 4, as of right now, because I feel like it incessantly changes, would be The Lost Boys, the 80s film.
Classic.
Superstar, the SNL film. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. It's a cult classic. Will
Superstore.
Ferrell's in it.
Oh, the one female. She's
yeah.
she's breathing. Yeah. Dang, I haven't seen that one. She's smelling her armpits and everything.
Yep, that's her. And then I would say it was Hercules, the animated film, of course.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
I think my fourth pick was, I can't think of it, but I'm gonna say The Birdcage. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, but Michael Keaton. Oh wait, no, not Michael Keaton. I know. Yeah, I know.
Commanding Master.
What was the the Birdcage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Birdcage.
thinking about Birdman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're on this, Javon, what's your favorite movie of all time?
I'm gonna give you like a top like 4
500?
that I can think right now. Scarface.
Nice.
That's your first, or this is not in chronological order?
It's hard to even put them in order because they mean something different to me. Scarface. As a kid, I watched it and it was so long and I was interested the entire film, right? And then being in the streets myself, it was inspirational. Shouldn't be, but it was.
Yeah.
If we're being honest here.
Because you were in the streets, no shit.
At the time, it's the way the environment, the way they grew up,
makes
and
sense.
everything.
This is crazy to see somebody start from nothing and just make it to the top.
There's something. Isn't there something about that?
Yep.
Like this guy is, he's from Cuba, comes overseas
Immigrant.
to Miami, immigrant, starts as a dishwasher, and a lot of people think this. It's funny because about Scarface, they think like, oh, he started as a dishwasher and then he gets involved in 2 weeks he's a millionaire. No, you got to understand the movie. A movie is like, yeah, he was a dishwasher, but you got to understand like there's gonna be
What he went through.
Well, actually, there's plenty of people who misinterpret films.
Yeah.
I have a relative who was saying, he's younger than me, and he was saying like, the reason that Tony died is because he got too full of himself. And I was like, did you watch the movie? Because that's not what happened.
Yeah.
The reason he died is because he actually had a conscience and he didn't want to blow up
He didn't
kids.
want to blow up the kids.
And that's it. So I don't like, it's hard for me to even listen to other people's critiques of movies sometimes because I'm like, we're not even watching the same movie.
Yeah.
Listen, all I have to say is that Tony was very lucky that he came before Trump was president because he probably wouldn't have been in the country. So Moses was your favorite
He'd be in
movie
El
of all
Salvador.
time. Yeah, he would have been in
Crazy.
El Salvador.
My favorite movie of all time. I mean, I feel like everybody knows this about me, but Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
First off, like Martin
Banger.
Scorsese is my favorite all-time movie director.
How could he know?
Like Scorsese, amazing. That movie, the cinematography, the story it tells is based off of a real life story, but the way he interprets it, right? You could have something that's real life, but the way he portrays it makes you want to be a part of it.
Like they want when they go to the mom's house. And Joe Pesci's all like talking to the mom.
And a funny story about that is that's actually Scorsese's
Real
mom, and all he told her was like, "Hey, mom, we're gonna film the scene. Just be a mom," and she improvised it, and she was a mother to them, and this and that. So that scene, amazing.
Is Goodfellas the one where they beat up the bikers? Or no, that's
That's
the
Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale.
Goodfellas.
Bronx Tale's great.
Yeah.
That's what was see.
No. Yeah. You're right. You're right. And the only reason I think about it, I just seen something interesting about that where that scene was real. You know that, right?
Which one?
The actor who went in there and who was like, he locked the doors.
Mhm.
He said that he was an actual kid and he saw that happen.
Oh yeah.
So that's why that
Talk about
scene was
like-
created. He was the kid
Yeah.
in real life and he saw that happen.
Yeah.
And that's the best films that you can make, which is why when we start to make the Street Legends film,
bro.
if you have experience in something and you start to make a film about it, it's more authentic. Because I hate watching stuff where you could tell somebody who has no attachment to it is behind whatever, the script or whatever.
Yeah.
100%.
I hate when first of all, if you ever end up styling actors on a film, I would tell you to do an immense amount of research on whatever the film is about first. Don't be the person who's like we're gonna style a Mexican person so that everybody's a cholo, and it's like doesn't even look authentic or anything.
And that oh my
It's
god,
so important for costume designers to do their research, and you can tell when they haven't.
Right.
You absolutely can tell.
that get ready to get involved in some work that we're doing for Frontline Films production company
Yes,
because we're getting to it.
Max,
Am I gonna be the Armenian mafia character in the film?
what's your favorite film? No, bro, we're gonna make you like the
The Armenian preacher.
you're gonna be the kid from Malibu.
The only person I know from Malibu is Diamond, but we'll get that another time. You guys know about
We from
Diamond.
Family Matters and the 1%.
I don't even know what you're alluding to right now, so I can't even get offended or like
Oh, no,
crack
it's not
up or
offensive at all.
what. Dog.
I don't even know how to answer that.
I'm gonna research and I'm gonna talk to you. Dog. And I might even just be like, hey dog, that was good. Or I'm gonna be like, hey dog.
We got to square.
Okay, so what's your favorite movie?
I got 2.
Okay.
The first one, The Mummy 1999 with Brendan.
Oh, that's great.
Fire.
Brendan Fraser, bro.
Banger.
Yeah.
Second one,
Dang, I'm
which
gonna watch that when I get home. Thank you, guys.
you should. Second one, which beats the first one, and I'm sorry, kind of beats all of your guys' movies too. The Passion of the Christ. That movie will make me cry anywhere, anytime, any place, and I never cry.
You know what
Even
you
if
thought
I
about this
cry,
nigga? Then
make
like I
it go
said, I
back
got
out.
4 films, and he cut me off at 1 and moved on.
What?
So we're gonna
You
get to my
started
You're
talking
right,
about
actually.
he
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
you
yeah.
We're gonna
off.
get to
dog.
my other 3. All right,
This fool, bro. You're forgetting the 1% African American I have. I
So-
look out for my brothers, bro.
you're doing it right. So
God damn.
the other 3
Drink my coffee.
is gonna be Gladiator. That's up there.
Amazing.
Yeah, like just crazy. Right, I watched that one so many times.
Yeah.
Gladiator's a banger.
Uh,
It's coffee.
Is thou not amused?
are
you not entertained?
The other is gonna be the Malcolm X film with Denzel Washington.
I thought you were about to say Malcolm in the Middle.
No,
That's a series.
if you so the thing about that one is it's such a powerful film that like I get filled with like anger every time I watch it. Anger, and I can cry like tears of like anger every time I watch it. And you know, if something can move you like that, then that means they did a good job. Denzel did a good job portraying Malcolm X, and then Malcolm X's life just in general, if you are familiar with it, is just such a inspirational life in general.
100%. Malcolm X was our hero, bro.
Yeah, like in ways that like I did so many reports on this dude like growing up and at different grades in my life that I would learn more and more and more about it. And I think that the way that they portrayed Malcolm X was just as like this, like first of all, he was racist at a certain point in his life. And he was like promoting violence and all of these things.
Can you blame him?
No. I
That's
don't
the
blame
question to ask.
him. No. If you can blame him, then you are not being real with yourself about what
Went on?
we were facing, right? But the craziest part about his story, which is why I can always say, no matter how much I progress in life and I look at people different, like when you're a kid, you might look at a certain person and be like, oh, I kind of look up to this person. And then you get their age and you're like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, right?
Yeah.
I will never reach that point for Malcolm X because before he died, he actually humbled himself completely in a way that only a real man could do, which is in all of the racist views that he had. He went to Mecca, he saw all of the different faces of people of different races, and he realized like they taught me wrong. And instead of coming back and trying to like, save face, he came out and was like, yo, I saw white people with blue eyes. I saw this, I saw that. And we were all praying together. We were all doing this. And I apologized. I had it wrong. And the people who ultimately ended up assassinating Malcolm X was the Nation of Islam because they didn't want that. They didn't want him going away from this.
From it.
And primarily because he exposed Elijah Muhammad for having all these underage women pregnant. That's what it really
I feel
was.
like usually the assassinations is because of a lot of people wanting to expose people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what it is. So anyways.
So what else do we want to get into today, guys?
And that's why you don't put a fuck Elon fucking sticker on your Tesla.
That's all I was getting
Kind of
to.
stupid, bro, honestly.
How do you feel about what's going on in the world today? Do you focus on politics? Do you try and like avoid it? Is it something that's, important in your life? What are your
If it
thoughts?
doesn't make you uncomfortable, say what comes from your
No, I didn't ask that. I didn't say I don't care.
No, I'm telling you, let her
We're asking for
answer
the
the way
people.
she wants to answer.
That's gonna answer the way she is.
We already know she is. We know you like we've known you for a long time now. So go ahead.
Honestly, it's hard not to be involved in politics in this day and age. I feel like if you are an adult, even a young adult, like you should know what's going on in politics, especially in this country. I mean, regardless of what's happening in other countries, like if you want to get involved in that and know that, like that's up to you. I'm very much involved in worldly politics, but specifically in this country, it's like in this time and age, it's really hard not to be involved, not to at least speak your opinion, not to care, not to just, want to help,
especially when you got the bronze bomber in office.
Or the suicide drone. You're the my
Javon's
side,
like-
or you're on his side.
Javon's like, I'm laughing in the inside. I'm not
Steph,
saying
I
nothing
love
on
your
the
reaction
what
to
are
that.
your views on Sean?
I wanted Kamala.
You wanted her?
I wanted
Do you feel like she would have done like? Okay, so let me retract that. What are your views on world politics? Like, what do you everything that's going on right now? Do you
Oh, fuck.
like when it comes to like Palestine, Israel? What is your like views on that? What do you, if you're educated on that? Or
Oh, we free Palestine.
There-
Free Palestine in this bitch. We've been in this house like for a minute
or
now.
to the sea. So
Yeah,
what?
absolutely.
So do you think that she would be for that though?
It's hard because knowing that she was a correctional officer and stuff, and that she was very much against her own race at one point in time, it's very hard. Even with like Joe Biden, like, you know, people thought like he would be for it and stuff, but he was really taking his sweet time with actually making any type of moves and actions. So it's kind of hard to think like what would she have done in this position. But it's like I feel like with every election, it's like you're really trying to pick the lesser of two evils. It's like there is no better choice. It's like they're two wings of the same bird. They both have an agenda, and this might be the same agenda. So it's like they may say like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and this and this if we're elected, but they may not. You know, that's what I saw with Joe Biden. He said I was gonna do this, this, and this. He took his time.
I feel like all of them are like that though. All of them make these
Exactly.
promises and this and that, and that's why like it took me away from politics.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a big political person whatsoever. You know, I kind of know what's going on. I hear them talk and argue all the time. But lately I have been doing my research, guys. So I have been doing my research a little bit, you know, just to like I gotta be more involved in it. So that's what I've been doing. But yeah, like for me politically it's just everybody lies. All these politicians lie.
Yeah.
They just want to get in office and that's it.
Yeah.
I feel like also another weird thing is why are you what's that guy's name that's right there, like he's right there sleeping at the podium and everything, like should they need to do like an age cutoff?
Oh,
I know you're talking about.
What's his name?
Oh,
like
the Republican fool. With the glasses. Like, he just pulls up like this and he goes to make
And
the
then,
speech and he's like
and
this for
then
30
he's
minutes.
just yeah, like he just pauses, bro. Like, so what
I
do
know
you
what you're
guys
talking
feel like the age gap should be politically?
It's weird
like,
because
But you can't say it though. You can't say it because,
Why?
bro, there are 90-year-old people who will move faster than a 70-year-old. So it has to do with your lifestyle, what you've lived, diet, smoking, drinking. That's why when you see
okay,
these
so do you
politicians
feel
do
like they
shit.
should do like a yearly checkup on these people to make sure they're
course.
okay to make decisions?
Of course, 100%, bro.
Or should it just be a yearly cutoff? Like there needs to be something that goes on where it's like, hey,
Not
like,
a yearly cutoff
like-
because you'd be un-American, but they need to have checkups on them to see
that's what
if
I'm
they're
saying. Like
able to
how
do
like
shit.
how's this guy making decisions, but he's right here falling asleep at the podium?
Cause look, you got Joe Biden, right? He was 75 and he was just like,
That was
hey,
crazy.
hey, there's Xi Jinping, and it's like the guy was trying to say one. He's like, let me say one word that makes up America: Xi Jinping and the Highlands of some. shit.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's
So he
ridiculous,
was about 78 or 79, but then bro, I've met 90-year-olds who are so like
yeah.
moving
for
around,
sure.
talking on top of
Bro,
everything.
have
So
you seen like those
can't-
90-year-olds on TikTok or Instagram where they're running? They're literally running the track and they're so healthy.
Yeah.
So I guess
My grandma, she's almost 80, but you talk to her, her mind is on a million because she's just lived a healthy life. She's never like really drank, smoke. She's had a lot of stress, but God, thanks to God, her genetics are very strong.
so maybe
she's
it has to
held
be
down.
something like like a psychological test.
Yeah,
Like
a cognitive test.
every few
A cognitive
months or
test of internal organs and all that shit.
that they're good to
Blood work.
be able to make these decisions that are essentially making America.
Yeah, it's gonna affect
100%.
all the generations coming forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Here's my thing with Kamala, since we brought up Kamala. I'm not even going to talk about slow Biden.
That's a good one. That's a good one right there.
Slow Biden.
Slow Biden.
Because he is.
And I'll only tolerate that now because we're being like. First of all, you know I don't like that nigga neither. So, but I just don't
The
like
only
the whole
thing-
division of it. You know. No. I'm gonna let you.
Say it. No. I
I
just
just-
cut you off because of this Toki.
I just think that as not even just as Americans, as world citizens, whatever government you're under, never let your government divide you into two. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, you need to be able to think for yourself and be able to say, hey, the party that I subscribe to, is wrong about this and this. And then at that point, you should really be like, why do we even have parties?
Yeah.
100%.
I thought we were all American in the first place.
Thank you for saying that. This is what I've been championing my whole life. I am Fashion Master 9000 years old. I just didn't decide. Hey, look at it. Come on, look at me, Rezo. I didn't even have the test out. I don't even have the test series out.
Ooh, hit that walk.
And walk back. And 5 years, just lean on it.
All right.
Jazz, we're good on all cams. All cams are recording.
Gems, how's my walk? Good or not?
I think so.
If you see it, then it was.
Go ahead, bro.
So I've been championing this. Whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, it doesn't matter. If you're an independent, we need to talk. So Bill Maher recently went to the White House to talk to Donald Trump. Bill Maher has been a hater of Trump for years. If anybody knows Bill Maher or keeps up, I keep up with Bill Maher because the guy's just. I just like
Bill Maher?
Bill Maher. Bill Maher.
Oh, okay.
Bill Maher? No, I think I know what you're talking about.
Bill Maher is hilarious. He's a
the
comedian.
older, he's also a comedian, but now he has a show called Real Time on HBO where it's like a political.
I dislike the guy, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, you can dislike him. See, that's the thing. You should be able to dislike him, and I should like him.
But
We should
here's-
still
but
high
here's the
five
thing.
in the air. It's not an issue.
Here's the thing: you
It's
guys
not
can
an issue.
dislike each other's opinions, but still be able to come together
Be
and respect each
respectful
other.
about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And
getting
that's what
back,
we're
so
doing.
getting back to my point, Republican, Democrat, there's people are so misinformed and they're not educated on stuff. And regardless if you lean more liberal, regardless if you lean more Republican, I've said this, I've made this very clear. I like Trump, bro. I honestly like him. And let me tell you why. I've told Javon this personally. His story is an inspiration to me. Let's forget all the policies. The guy runs for president. Everyone says he'll never be president. Obama makes this whole video on Jimmy Kimmel saying, you're never gonna be president and shit, right? What does Trump do? Becomes fucking president. They try to indict him 2 times. They can't do it. He gets out of office. They leave him alone for 4 years. Nobody fucks with Trump for 4 years. The guy runs for office again. 100 and something fucking indictments out of nowhere. Slap on a fucking 70 something year old man's neck. 90% of these indictments are bullshit. He beats everything. He beats the fucking justice system. He runs through all this bullshit, and like it or not, he's the president again. Now, do I agree with every single policy that's made by Donald Trump? No, I do not. Do I like the fucking story? And I think that's a fucking dog. That's crazy. Like I don't think there's anyone else gonna be that's a Donald Trump in our time, in our fucking lifetimes. When we become 90, not presidential wise, maybe in entertainment, but like I don't see anybody else doing something like that, bro. How do you beat the justice system and then become president again as a so-called rapist, which he wasn't? Look into the case if you think he was, please.
Money.
But
He hired all the people.
Yeah, there you go.
Say it louder, Steph. Say it loud.
please don't let me get started on Kamala.
Let me say one piece of that.
But here's the thing. Hold on. Let's get back to the fact before you continue. Before you continue,
I want you to finish. Go ahead.
you may have liked Kamala and I like Trump, right? But we're still. I'm not gonna have any hate for you.
No.
I'm not gonna feel fucking deep down in my heart. I may smile at you right now and then feel different. No, at the end of the day, you're a human. You're entitled to your opinion.
That will. You know what's crazy is that will happen though. Even
Not
you
with
and
me, because I have a brain. I have an understanding.
It's not
if you
about
don't
that.
agree with me, you don't have to agree with me. You can be Islamic, you can be Jewish. I'm a Christian. I'm gonna hug you because we're human. If I stab you or you stab me, we're gonna plead blood.
It's not about
It's
that.
uneducated.
It's not about that. It's about the fact of this right here. You and I almost fell out over these politics, right? We had to talk a lot to get back to common grounds about something that went on
Which
outside.
was an misunderstanding.
But
Thanks to Kanye West.
But the thing is,
Let's not even get into
That
it.
is not a
No,
good
but-
example.
No,
he
because
was-
you don't
he
know.
was
He
involved.
was. But Kanye was involved. I swear.
But my point is this though. My point is that when we created this podcast, we talked about which we just addressed and we told you about, like him being Mexican, you being Armenian, me being black. You know, our cultures typically have a different viewpoint of what's happening in the world. So it's good to get us all in the same space and to hear, you know, what we're trying to be representers, you know. Right. Sorry, black people, if you don't feel like I'm doing a good enough job, but I'm doing the best.
Hey, dog,
But
my
Mexicans?
1% supports you
Sorry.
all the way.
there you go.
Hey,
So
Armenians, you're welcome.
I feel like I'm doing a great job
Hey,
as the
Filipino
Mexican
Germans,
dancer.
I'm just here.
there it is. She's doing what y'all do.
Right.
Killing it too. But my point being is that the perspective that he just gave right now is like you could do nothing else but like listen to it and understand why he has that. But to share a different perspective for black people, most of us, because even black people are divided on Donald Trump, but for most of us, we're not surprised. This is not the first time we watched a white guy beat the system. This might be the first time that you are paying attention to a white guy beat the system, but we watched a white guy beat the system for 400 years when they were beating our ancestors and hanging us from trees and going to court and getting away with the crimes and enslaving us and doing everything and getting away with it. This is nothing new to us whatsoever. It ain't even special. I ain't even looking at this like this is not even top 5 of white people getting away with something. It's literally like, business as usual.
What was that? What was
They
that
also-
one kid's
they also
name?
finessed
Rittenhouse or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Didn't he come from a whole nother fucking state?
Yes, he did.
Who?
Yes, he did.
Kyle Rittenhouse,
Kyle,
bro.
there you go,
But
Kyle,
he got
Kyle.
attacked. Have you seen the video, bro?
I don't give a fuck if
It's
you
not
get
enough.
attacked. You come
not enough.
out. You come.
You came from a whole
across
nother
another
state. With
Oh,
the
he
weapon.
came across another fucking state?
Yes, that's what I
I didn't know this shit, dog.
See?
Do your
So you
research.
came out from
Do your
another
research.
There you go,
Don't you
people.
dare- don't
Do
you
your
dare,
research.
dog. Don't
Make
you
sure
dare.
you know what you're talking about.
Hold on,
This
hold
guy
on,
Kyle.
hold on.
No, no.
Hold on.
No. But you circle back right
I don't
now.
know the fuck I'm talking about. Don't do this shit to me
But
right
you
now.
circle back right now.
He came from another state
Yes,
to get this fucking
just to get his
Jeep pimping.
vendetta.
His mom brought him from another place with a gun.
That's
and said,
what-
like,
Mom.
I'm a parent, bro.
Like-
I'm never gonna be like,
Take-
here, son, here's a weapon. We're gonna take you somewhere else
to
where there's
kill that
danger.
person?
I'm gonna be like to my kids, like, yo, it's dangerous over there.
Yeah.
Close the doors.
Okay,
Put the
Yeah,
blinds.
you know what I would do as a
They
they
parent?
threw him in a bad situation.
No,
But
bro.
did he not get attacked?
I don't give a fuck if you're getting bullied. That's not the. That's not the option.
no,
And if
no,
you
no,
have
no.
a gun on you.
I will give you that. He technically did get attacked, right? After he
By fucking 6 people.
after he instigated it, right? But here's the thing, again, that's the perspective that you have from like your point of view. From a black point of view, bro, if the tables were turned and he was a black person and he had a gun,
Okay.
The way
and he
they
traveled.
it's the way they turn the media.
So, and I'm not even mad at you for seeing it that way because that's honestly, bro. I promise you, and I promise you, everybody.
there's no way of
no,
seeing it
hear me,
'cause
hear me.
you're forgetting my
Hear me.
1%.
No, I'm
That's
not. I'm
not.
not. I promise you, for everybody
I 100%
watching.
understand. I get what
I
you're
know
saying.
you
'Cause
get
if
it.
he was an African American,
Yeah,
they would have
bro.
fucking slammed the law. Like how
They
fucking dare
would
you?
have threw him
This white
underneath the
person.
jail cell, and so
if it was a
that's the
Mexican, they would have sent him to El Salvador
Hey,
right now. Like
that's the purpose. That's
Hey,
the
if it-
purpose.
hey, if it was Armenian or Filipino and German,
that's
Probably
another
the
big
same
thing,
shit.
bro. This whole
Yeah.
El Salvadorian, it's a concentration camp. Like,
no, it's not. Fool, there's fucking
What?
MS-13, MS-13 right
bro,
there.
but they're
dog.
sending
What you
people that
talking
are
about?
They just
send-
arrested a
No.
DoorDash dude.
No,
they're
they
sending
didn't.
people
dog.
that-
Images.
My G, no, they didn't.
Let's
What are we
hear
talking
from-
about? Are we
let's hear
talking
from
about
another
Garcia? No, are we
Hold
talking
on,
about
hold on,
Garcia?
hold
Let's hear from another
Hold
culture.
on, hold on, Max. Hold on, please wait, Steph. What do you think about this whole concentration camp, or like my slices say?
Don't call it that because she got to
It's
get
not
pregnant.
like
No, don't
concentration
Wait,
camp.
okay,
It's a
okay.
fucking jail
Okay,
for gang
okay,
members and
but-
terrorists.
But
G.
they're sending people
I'm
over
over
there
with
that
this
are not
churro,
gang
bro.
members. They're sending people over there that are this and that. Steph, what do you think about this? Like, what is your personal opinion?
It's not right because it's like Max said, it's for gang members, it's for terrorists. It's like, have you seen the satellite images?
Right.
Have you seen like the blood spilt stains on the ground and stuff? You know.
Elaborate on that more. Tell us because I have
Elaboration.
deeply on that.
Oh, okay. So there were some satellite images that people were looking up of the concentration camp. That I'm gonna call it what it is. It's not a prison anymore. It's a concentration camp.
Thank you.
And it's literally a Google Maps type of Earth search, and you just see blood stains, and you could see where the body layouts were of when they were executed. So it's like,
So people are getting executed at the Salvadorian jail.
yes, supposedly, allegedly. I'm gonna say
Allegedly,
because
covert.
it's like we don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with anybody or anything, but it's just, of course, everyone's seeing the pictures now, so it's kind of like, oh,
I
what's
haven't.
going on?
Have you ever been in trouble with the law and been in jail?
No, Steph is a nice girl.
That doesn't mean nothing.
You never know.
Right, but I'm just...
No, I'm good with auras. I would know.
No,
Stephanie
bro,
is a,
like,
Stephanie's a
farming
sick
over
girl.
here.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of innocent people in prison and in jail.
Absolutely.
I've been blessed to not go to LA County, but I've been to county jail before. I've also been to just like regular jail. And what I saw and what I experienced there was so crazy to me. I just share like something quick that they're not there to figure out who's there for like a speeding ticket or who is there as a murderer. When you're there, you're there, period. Yeah. So that means like a serial killer could be
Charles Manson or something.
And you could be in there for like literally.
It's not the same for inmates though.
No, that's what I'm explaining to you from experience. I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you right now from experience.
Talking about the big homies.
When you're in there, yeah, but they're not the ones who run everything.
And I'm not talking about, they're not my big homies. I'm just saying the big homies in jail.
So what I'm saying is my understanding is that El Salvador is like a trillion times worse than LA County. Okay. And in California, anybody who's ever been to LA County will attest to this, that it don't matter what you're in there for. You're in there and you're all the same. They see you the same. The sheriffs will treat you the same, whether you're in there for a speeding ticket or whether you're in there for serial killer, you're treated the same. They're going to put you in messed up situations the same. You will be in dangerous situations the same, regardless. I'm going to fast forward the story.
There in the first place, though.
Nope. So I will fast forward the story. I was arrested on Thanksgiving. I think I shared this on before. I was arrested on Thanksgiving, maybe like 5-7 years ago, for driving on a suspended license. That's not what you arrest somebody for. You hand a ticket out for that. Mm-hmm. But I happened to be arrested I pulled over in South Pasadena where they're super racist. Yeah.
And you have to be
super racist.
Yeah.
Super racist. Even to the point where when they put me in Alhambra's jail, and the jailers there were like, they arrested you for this? Yeah. These are cops looking at me like, yo, they brought you in here on Thanksgiving for this? I had my kids with me, my wife. We weren't married at the time. I had my wife with me, and they wouldn't let my wife drive the car. They wouldn't issue a ticket. They were like, no, you're going to jail. And arrested me in front of my kids. I spent 5 days in there. During that time, over this simple thing, eventually, I have to end up in the Alhambra courthouse. When you end up in the Alhambra courthouse, you don't know who has court on what day. So if a serial killer has court on the same day as you, now you're in this holding cell with the serial killer. It's very racially divided. And for anybody who doesn't understand, in California in particular, so they send all of the Hispanics and the whites to one holding cell, and they send all the Asians and the blacks to another holding cell. And when we get in here, when I get into this holding cell, I'm immediately being like, yo, where are you from? Where are you from? And they're doing this in front of the sheriffs. The sheriffs don't give a damn. They're like, yo, get in there and die. And so there's a lot of anger that's circulating through the air. Before I ever got arrested or anything like that, I used to think like, man, like I don't know if I'd make it. I think I'd be scared. When you're in there, you're so angry, you don't even have time to be scared. I'm so pissed at the way that this whole system is set up that I would kill somebody myself because I'm so pissed about what's going on.
And then because of the system, the way it's set up, you can kill somebody, and then guess what happens?
Get more time.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what these.
So now imagine El Salvador. So when you're talking about what you saw there, I can fully believe it because it's like it's not comparable. If simply LA could be as bad as it is, I can't even imagine.
Imagine what it's like in another country.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
I agree with that part. See, when you're saying concentration camp, okay, I can get where you're coming from or the stance you're taking upon that, right? But again, it's a different country, right? And it's a little different in different countries. We're so blessed. All of us, we need to understand every day when we wake up, we are so blessed to be in America.
Not as a black person, but okay.
Regardless, bro, don't be dropping that on me right now, bro. You're blessed as a black American.
I'm gonna tell you as a black person, I got to represent my people here, and we don't feel blessed to be here.
You're being negative.
We don't feel blessed to be here at all.
Negative as fuck.
I'm not being real.
My percent and my.
Look at LA. LA was Mexico. Who took it over? America took it over. LA was literally Mexico.
But I'm not mad. But I'm not mad at you for what you're saying. I understand.
And Turkey was Armenia.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you for what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
What is it now? What are the cards that were dealt now? Can we be realistic? Can we be positive?
No, that's not realistic, bro. That's your perspective. That's not.
Can we be positive?
I
Can
would
we
never
try to help one another?
I would
There
never
we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I would never. I will put it to you like this, Max, because you and
You just dropped some
First-
negative ass shit.
first of
bro,
all,
honestly,
I got so much love for you, Max, and me and you. This podcast has been a
Likewise,
blessing.
bro.
It's been a blessing for you and I to know each other because we've gone through so much stuff. We've gone through so many debates that I understand you so well, bro. I understand Armenian culture more than I ever could. So thank you for even bringing me into
Likewise, and I understand
Right.
African American culture way more than
and so like I'll never be mad when you say something that would oppose, and I hope that people watching it understand because we took the time to understand each other, but there's still learning to be done, right? So it's like there's still a way that you would speak about something that like the Armenian culture would feel that I can't agree with because we have a different experience here. And it's not diminishing what you have, but I'm telling you right now, as Black people, we don't feel blessed to be here, bro. We come from the most resourceful continent on the planet. It's so resourceful that they do everything that they can to rob and steal everything from our continent, including taking the people from there.
But I'm talking.
I will
about
never
in this
feel
moment,
blessed. I will
being
never
blessed in
use
this
the
moment. Would you be blessed right now in Africa?
I'm very blessed as a child of God, not as an African American in America. And that's what I'm trying to
So
point
America
out.
hasn't benefited you in any way whatsoever in any sort.
If I speak,
Honestly,
if I
let's be real.
speak on my
'Cause You're just
individual,
coming very negative. I'm
No,
trying
I'm
to make
not.
a positive.
I'm not.
They're making it negative.
not.
I think it's really important to point out the fact that, like, Max, because you are white passing, you have a lot of privilege here.
White what?
white passing, and white passing. Whether you,
Oh, that's smart.
whether you say that you're white or not,
Irregardless, if I give my last name, then cops are gonna look at me differently.
Yes.
of course,
White passing doesn't mean shit once they see the way I'm
No, it means
dressed.
something because
The
it
way
even
I
means something
look.
for the Black
If I was a
people.
white person and I was wearing a fucking, hey, what's up, dude? And I was like that, an Armenian, white passing. But the way I'm dressed, the hair I have, the way I talk, and the way I look, people know I'm fucking Armenian. They know I'm not American.
Well, let's rewind. Let's rewind and think about the movie
White
we were just
passing
talking
doesn't
about.
come across.
No, but-
I get what you're saying though, and I appreciate it, and it's true, for some people, not me.
No, but not like that, Max. I think like
And
okay.
I just feel like you're making it more negative than it should be.
I'm not making
That's
it negative.
That's all I'm saying.
I think
bro.
that it's
you should
kind-
just be happy. Bro.
It's it. No.
Would you rather
not
be
at
happy
all.
in Nigeria
Not at
right now
all.
or in
Not at
Africa?
all.
It's
Not at
really
all.
hard to
Not at
say.
all.
to
And there's
somebody.
beautiful places in Africa. So like
I'm not saying it's
I
not.
would be
I'm
happy.
just saying with the resources you have here, with the government funding and all the other
It's
stuff.
still there. It's still there.
Where's my mic? Because I need to say something.
There it
Okay,
is.
there's-
Let the
say what
guest
you need to
speak.
say.
I feel like it's kind of what he's saying. I feel like is very real. This is his truth. You know,
Mhm.
you have your truth.
I'm not against it. I'm questioning it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I just feel like when you say, "Oh, you're coming off really negative," it's like, no, it's like this is a truth. Like this is a real side of history that's like affected him,
History.
his ancestors.
For the
you
word
know?
you just said.
Absolutely, but like it's still affecting people to this day. It's
Not the same as it was many years.
You can't speak from.
But
from
you can't speak from a different
yeah,
culture.
You can't
I-
speak from my culture. Yeah.
I feel like
Okay, then elaborate. Then elaborate.
Well, that's what. Hold on, just let her talk.
I want to hear what she has to say.
I want
first.
her to elaborate because she can't speak for you either.
No,
You
but,
speak.
but,
She's
but,
trying-
but
No,
if she's saying
she
something,
can't
if
speak
she's
for you. You
if she's
speak then,
saying
bro.
if she's saying something that I agree with, I'm speaking for my culture through her. Go ahead.
I mean,
Not-
I just-
And if she says something wrong, I'll correct her. I'll stop her. I'll stop her right
You
now.
can't speak for you. You have to speak for yourself.
Max,
That's what you just said.
okay, but Max, let her talk, and then we'll go on.
Go ahead.
You're getting pissed because I'm saying you said something negative.
No,
But you
just
look.
not.
No, I'm not. I'm not pissed at all. Go
Nobody's
ahead.
pissed. Nobody's pissed. Nobody's
ahead.
pressed about it at all.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's just like I'm kind of feeling this because of an example that you just brought up being in the Alhambra, jail cell. Segregation is still very much alive. The way that you said that they separated whites and Mexicans and Asians and blacks, like that shouldn't be a thing. Like, why was that even a thing? So it's like to deny that a culture is experiencing something when it's still very much alive in this country.
I'm not denying it. I'm saying you're being negative.
Just let her talk.
It's just
I'm reiterating what I said.
I get it.
I know,
get it,
but
let her talk, bro.
I'm
rebuttal
letting
after.
her talk. I'm
Okay.
telling you what's
Okay.
up.
but it's not a negative like feeling. It's just a negative experience that's been consistently done over time and time and time again. So it's not like he's trying to be negative. He's just trying to draw attention to like what is historically been accurate.
Okay.
And I also want to point out, like, so for one, when we're saying, like, when I'm saying that people of one culture can't speak for another, I'm not saying that people can't be accurate about details, But to say like how a culture should feel is different, because I can't tell you.
I'm not talking about a culture. I'm talking about you.
Right. So me as an individual, I can't even speak.
And you don't represent the whole African American delegation.
Exactly.
Neither do I represent the whole Armenian and Moses.
Because if
Mexicans
I
or
get rich
Filipino.
today, we can't say that, oh, well, Javon is rich or Javon became president, so therefore it's good for black people in America. I can't, it would never be that. Because right now, Obama, we had a black president, and during his presidency, I was arrested on Thanksgiving in front of my kids.
Exactly.
For driving on a suspended license.
And Obama deported way more people than Trump ever will.
And he's a
And
scumbag
Cesar
too.
Chavez is a fucking bitch.
Damn, he said that dumbass shit. Mexicans, you guys.
Hey, the
do
Mexican
whatever you want
delegation
with
will
your
literally
Mexicans.
agree with me.
You have like
Lola, comment
you
below.
have like 30% that's probably gonna. I'm not even gonna speak because we don't speak for other people's cultures. I'm just gonna say,
just wait,
from the older Mexicans people that I've spoken with, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, dog.
bro.
He's done one or two
That's bad
things.
to
that are
Mexico. That's what I'm
against- He's
saying.
done
You're
one or two
talking
things
to a
against
Mexican
illegal
delegation right
immigration.
now whose
Okay,
family
but I
has been
speak
here
with
since
facts,
the
bro.
1920s, whose family was pushed out from. That's why I speak on, like, bro, LA was literally Mexico, and then America came and took over the border.
True.
The oldest projects right here, one of the oldest projects, sorry, it's not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest projects, one of the Gardens projects. My family grew up there.
Okay.
And they know all about this, so I can't wait till Lola comes.
So why Cesar Chavez a bitch?
Because he didn't stand for the Mexican delegation. He stood for just the farmers. And a lot of
Who were
people...
the farmers at the time?
Wait, let him say.
I'm asking questions. Let
Yeah,
him
yeah.
say it.
The farmers could have been anywhere in that genre, but the Mexican delegation...
The farmers were
Cesar
Mexican.
Chavez called them wetbacks. He wanted to send everybody across the border. But the wrong thing about it was Cesar Chavez didn't understand. Was like, bro, you're trying to send your people across the border. This is the border. We've been over here.
Yeah.
Why are you sending them back over there? You're
You
sending
don't
them
have to
across
fight for your
where this is our shit.
Yeah.
This is our land. And you're trying to send them over there. You're calling them wetbacks?
Whose land is
Why?
it now?
Because you
And
want to
you're
make money
conforming.
before it?
Yeah.
You want to make money for
Brother
people
Moses.
that are
But you're giving a non-Hispanic.
Moses,
You're giving a non-Hispanic.
Whose land is it now?
Apparently, it's still Hispanics
Apparently,
land because you guys
yeah.
are still here.
What do
That's
we
what I'm
call
saying.
it?
Like,
We
what
call
is
it Little
America?
Mexico. What do you call LA, bro?
No,
if you,
no.
if,
Brother,
no,
of
I don't
course,
care.
Of course, I
You
understand.
come to
that,
LA,
but right
you're
now,
gonna call it
what
Little
is it?
Mexico.
No, LA is, bro. We got more Mexicans and like Latinos over here, but whose land is it now, legally speaking? America's.
But what is America?
When it comes down to
What-
Cesar Chavez, when it
what is
comes down to
American?
Cesar
Does that mean
Chavez, we're
it's
talking about the court. Let me talk, because
I'm just
I
asking
listened
you.
to you
Real
all
question.
the way.
Judge,
Real
you
quick,
asked
I
him a
didn't
question.
ask you a question.
You
when
asked
we were
him a
talking.
question. I'm asking you one.
I
Well,
spoke
okay,
on it.
because I asked him. Let
For
me speak. I'm
clarification.
talking to him now. I'm not talking to four of you guys at one time, bro. I'm talking to
Who is
Moses right
American?
now. Anyone who wants
Let
to
him
be
ask
American.
me. Go
All
ahead,
right,
go ahead,
clear.
go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
I'll
go ahead and
take that
ask.
When Cesar Chavez was having his rallies for all the issues that were going on with the farmers and etc., and you had immigrants coming in and they were going to work for the farmers while he was holding rallies to bring up money for the farmers. And those people who were working for even cheaper wages were finding out what Cesar Chavez was doing. They wanted to dip out of that system that they were brought into, the farmer system, and go to the rallies that Cesar Chavez was doing. And the fucking OG American farmers who were finding out were telling these farmers, you go to Cesar Chavez, but we're telling ICE what you're doing.
That's
So it
the-
was fucking up what
There you
Cesar
go right
Chavez
there.
was
You
doing.
said the OG
all around.
American farmers. How are there OG American farmers when the original farmers were Mexican?
I'm not gonna do with anything.
I-
dog.
I-
That
I
nothing
see
to do
what
with
you're
shit.
saying.
You see what I'm saying?
That nothing
That
to do
makes
with things.
no
I can
sense
sit around
whatsoever.
and eat
How
right
are there
now and
OG
say-
American farmers when the farmers?
When I'm saying
in
OG,
general-
I mean the older motherfuckers. I'm not saying OG in a fucking
Look,
complimentary
Cesar
or positive
Chavez, the
fucking
only.
term.
I'll tell you who agrees with them is Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are Tex-Mex people? They ain't fucking Mex.
Hey, did you-
What
did
does
I send
Tex
you that
Mex? Wait,
video?
You did send me that video.
Hold on. What does Tex-Mex mean? What does Tex-Mex mean? Break it down.
Mexicans
Mexicans that are in Texas. But even then, you know what they are? They're fucking people that, like I said, the borders come across, like El Paso. El Paso is right here. You have these Mexicans on this side of the border, and you have the white people on this side of the border that claim that they're Mexican.
See, so we were just talking about accepting people for having different type of ideologies, and you're telling me right now these fools aren't Mexican for liking something that you
I
are
don't
not
think you said
liking.
that.
That's not
That's exactly what he said.
that's not what I'm saying.
I didn't interpret it that
Let
way.
our audience comment below, dog.
I
That's
didn't
all I have to
interpret-
say.
Can I make one? Can I make one
We're gonna turn
disclaimer?
this into a whole.
Can I-
I'm
can
not
I
even
make
done
one
with the
down below.
conversation with you because
Can
I'm
I
speaking
can I
something
can I
else.
can I make
No,
one-
no,
let me
no,
make
no,
one
hold on.
disclaimer?
Hold on, one thing. We're gonna turn this into a social clip. Don't put it down.
What?
Ever gonna see the comment.
No, I have one disclaimer. I have one
Put
disclaimer.
it up, bro.
I grew up around so many Hispanic people that Like I hear a lot of different opinions, and I feel like every culture is divided, right? So you can't actually go to a black person and be like, get their opinion on one thing and think like, oh, this is how black people think, because you will find another black person who is completely against that. You can't do that for Hispanics. I'm assuming that you can't do that for Armenians either. I feel like you can go to one Armenian person and they will give you a perspective on something, and you meet another one and they'll be across the board. But what I'm saying is that people should have a valid reason for the way that they feel. And I think that that's when the conversation should start. Like, why do you feel that way? What is it that you've been seeing or experiencing? And I think that's the heaviest part. What have you been experiencing that has you feeling the way that you do? I know for me, I'm not going to look at a black person who is a Trump supporter and think that they're just dumb or stupid outright, because clearly they've been experiencing something that has swayed them to feel a different way than I do. But I have been experiencing something too that's different. You know, just because it's sunny on your side of the world don't mean it ain't raining somewhere else. That's the saying. I was talking to my grandmother just earlier, and she was like, oh yeah, it's about to rain over here. I was like, it's raining over there? It ain't raining over here where I'm at. And we only 30 minutes away from one another.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
So like what I'm saying is that I speak from a place of experience, and I don't think that nobody else doesn't do that. I think other people do too. There are plenty different ways that you can see the world. But when we start to understand that, hey, if we want to call ourselves a country and we want to function a certain type of way, we have to understand that, first of all, America is so larger than a lot of different places, that you're going to have so many different experiences. And we got to take a step back and stop disrespecting one another and putting everybody down and just be like, all right, I got to be empathetic. I have to understand that the way that it's working over here is not working for you, unless we don't care about other people, unless it's only us that we care about, unless we're selfish, unless it's like, hey, this is working, the system is working for me. And you know what's crazy? I don't know if I sent you the video of like the Cubans or whoever where they made a song like praising Donald Trump and doing all this stuff and everything. And then all of a sudden the next part of that clip is them saying like, he used us, he tricked us. I thought
that was one individual.
I know it was.
Most Cubans are for immigrant.
I know it was, but you're missing the whole point of what I'm getting at is that then they turn it for sure connects to the point that I'm making, that
not when
afterwards what happened was it was the same person. One moment they support, and then all of a sudden once it affects them differently, then it's like, oh, I thought it was gonna affect them, not me.
Right.
So it's easy
selfish.
It's easy. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is that I feel like a lot of the ways that people are being is selfish because of the fact they're looking at, well, it's not affecting me right now, so it's not even important.
Yeah.
I have a good friend who I'm gonna bring on this podcast, who lives in Orange County, and Orange County is a real bubble when it comes to white people. And but I love this dude like a brother in Christ, brother.
You mentioned him before, yeah.
And he gives me a lot of insight because of the fact that we live in two different worlds. But I know his heart. So for me, I have to really take a step back and be like, but what are his experiences? Can I get mad at him when he doesn't even live in the world that I live in?
Right.
We live on two different planets. Yeah. You know? So.
But it's not the world that you live in is what you perceive life to be.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I would have to respect him just like I would expect him to respect me.
Of course, but you live the life that you want to live and you see the world you want to see in the way you perceive it to be.
No, I think that so for example, you have a different education. No, I'm gonna be quick and then I'm gonna let you say what you say. You have a different educational system in LA County versus what you have in Orange County. And I know because I attended school. I attended school.
Everywhere is different.
Right.
Every city, Burbank is different from Glendale and from Alhambra.
So it's not a thing of like, oh, I want to perceive it this way. They're teaching me this way. They're giving me a different world. The government is treating me different over here. It's not a perception.
Those are local governments, but there are small states that have nothing to do with the main.
No, that's my point.
Government.
Everything is a bunch of small things together. If we act like, bro, like it's one large government and it's treating everybody the same, then we're not being realistic.
No, I'm not saying that.
This
but all I'm saying is we need to be more positive.
Yeah. We could go on forever
about
this topic. Steph, seriously, appreciate you coming on. You're definitely going to be a recurring guest. You're so great, and thank you for coming.
Hey, Steph,
on
sorry for
and
putting you
everything.
through this. I hope you're not like, fuck, who the hell are these guys, bro? Like screaming and shit.
Yeah,
Go-
great time.
No, guys. I mean, I appreciate that you guys are actually voicing your opinions because I feel like that's what needs to be happening.
And that's
right
what this platform is all about.
It's all
you know?
about.
Our platform is all about bringing the cultural, all our cultures, involved in it and letting it know. Like,
And my brain is fried. I was drinking heavy last night.
Yeah, like,
But
this
I was
guy-
so passionate about this.
let
and I
me
had
tell
to
you
come out.
something. Javon freaking was forcing a bottle down my throat last night. I was like, bro, I don't want to drink. 'Cause I know we're drinking. I was like,
We what did we finish? Like a bottle of Douce? Just the two.
you know what I'm saying?
Like, bro,
As you heard,
the big bottle too.
No,
like,
but you know what? Like, it was needed.
Website is also my name, Stefani Lindenberg. They will spell it out for you.
all right.
That's another episode of Boss Talk, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed, and may everybody have a great rest of their days.
And y'all.
All right.
Boss talk.
That's it. That's how it's done.
All right. It's you two, me outside right now. Fucking throwing downs right now. Jams, get the cameras.